I wonder if you've looked at the news this weekend and seen all the people marching. But it's lockdown, I can hear you say. They shouldn't be out on the streets together. And it's not just people in the cities of our country, but people all over the world marching in protest. I wonder what's so important to them. Well, 2 weeks ago, a black man called George Floyd was killed by a white policeman in Minnesota in the United States of America. Somebody recorded the incident on their camera, and now that's gone viral. Everybody is watching it. The anger and pain that's caused by his death has sparked mass protests across the whole world. People of all ages and all colours are holding banners and shouting, "Black Lives Matter." Some of those marching have kept silence and knelt. That's called taking the knee. And you may have seen images of the football players from Liverpool Football Club also taking a knee ahead of their training. Such images are really powerful. Taking the knee is a symbolic gesture that goes back probably some 200 years ago when black people were bought as slaves. There's a picture of a black man kneeling, and the caption alongside the picture says, "Am I not a man and a brother?" Meaning, am I not human as well? In those days, there were so many black people in slavery. They were owned by white people, and that image became the symbol of the struggle for the abolition of slavery, the ending of slavery in the 19th century. You may have heard of Dr. Martin Luther King, who sought change through peaceful protest. He's most well known for his speech, "I Have a Dream," in which he shared a vision of his future, or of the future, where everyone was equal regardless of the colour of their skin. In a moment I'm going to read you a story about the impact that some children had in helping to make that change happen. But the truth is that for too long, life has been harder for people with a black skin. There are still too many instances that show that they are treated differently. And that's not okay. There's a verse in the Old Testament book of Micah that I want to leave you with before I read the story. God has already made it plain how to live, what to do, what God is looking for. It's quite simple. Do what is fair and just to your neighbour. Be compassionate and loyal in your love. Let's take a minute just to think about what I've said, and then I'll say a prayer. Dear Lord, make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Amen. (1963) Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't play on the same playground as the white kids. I couldn't go to their schools. I couldn't drink from their water fountains. There were so many things I couldn't do. One spring evening, my family went to church. We weren't there for a normal service. We went to hear Dr. King. We went to plan. He wanted to raise an army of peaceful protesters to fight for freedom. Dr. King told us it was time for us to march. "If I march, I'll lose my job," said Mama. "I can't march," said Dad. "I've a family to feed." "I don't have a boss to fear," my brother said, "or a job to lose. We can march this time. We'll be Dr. King's army." Dr. King didn't want us to come to harm, but he said though we were young, we weren't too young to want our freedom. On May the 2nd, We all met at church dressed in our best, feet ready, in silence so loud I could hear my heart beat, and we began to walk. Hand in hand we marched, so frightened, yet certain of what was right for freedom. Boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, on and on we marched. We marched and marched. Disperse or you'll be jailed. Disperse or you'll get wet. Disperse or we'll release the dogs, the police shouted. But we kept marching. We couldn't stop till things started to change. Hundreds of us went to jails on the first day, even more on the second. It wasn't my turn until the third day. Dr. King reassured our parents, "Don't worry, they'll be all right. They're doing something not only for themselves, but all America and for all mankind." That night, in a small cell, we sang, "We shall overcome. Freedom is coming." The next day, more kids marched. Nothing could stop us. Turn the other cheek. Show love where there's hate. That's what we've been taught. And even the president took notice. He received letters and cards from all over the world. Our march would become a memory, a small part of a larger story, but we had been heard. "I'm so proud of you, baby girl," Mama said. "Your march is what made them see." With nothing more than our feet, voices and courage, we'd done what others could not, and change was around the corner. 1 month later, I was playing on a playground I'd never been allowed to play on before. 2 months later, my family ate at a diner we'd never been allowed to eat in before. Our march had made the difference. We children had led the way.